Day 42, 3rd Street. 3rd Street is one of the main you can definitely consider it one of the main thoroughfares in San Francisco. It is, sorry, my tripod is having issues, but it is a very interesting street because it begins in the part of San Francisco that I call the Southern Strip. If I'm not mistaken, 3rd Street pretty much begins like at Arleta and Bayshore, which is very close to the border, the southern San Francisco border with Daly City, but on the way to the airport. So the literal like southernmost tip of San Francisco, if I'm explaining this correctly, but it's like even more south than the part that's shared with Daly City. It's very, very, very industrial. If you know where Brisbane is, the tiny little town called Brisbane that most people have never heard of, that's kind of the part of San Francisco that I'm referring to, like the very, very southernmost tip. That's where 3rd Street is. So it's by far the main strip of Bayview Hunters Point, which is a massive, massive district that I'll cover in another video. But 3rd Street runs, so growing up, and even not growing, even still to this day, first off, Bayview Hunters Point is not a part of town that one just, goes to. Most people go there because they live there. It is not the safest part of town. It's where they used to have all the shipyards back in World War II. It's also a very toxic site. Anyway. 3rd Street is kind of like in my mind, the way I think of 3rd Street, the way I've thought of 3rd Street is like, that's the border. Like, that's as far as you want to go if you're going to go to Bayview Hunters Point, because once you cross 3rd Street, all bets are off. Sorry, it gets very, it's gotten gentrified parts of it, which has blown my mind. Like, there's like these lovely apartment buildings on the top of the hill there in places that I only knew to be like housing projects. But I think that the biggest thing, and this is said by people from Bayview Hunters Point themselves, is that if you go trifling in that area in places where you're not supposed to, it's very easy to get lost. It's very easy to, but again, it's interesting because so much of it has been gentrified, but it's not a place that you would just accidentally find yourself in, okay? And that, I would argue, adds to how unsafe it is. It's an area that's heavily patrolled by police officers. And that's the 3rd Street is where the T3rd runs, which is literally the connection from Bayview Hunters Point to the rest of San Francisco. But as you go down 3rd Street, long, massive street. So like 2 or 3 miles, you're still in Bayview Hunters Point, which in other parts of San Francisco, depending on the part, you've already gone through like 3 or 4 neighborhoods in 3 or 4 miles. Anyway, so India Basin, Portola, Bayshore, behind Bernal Heights, that's where 3rd Street runs. And then Dogpatch, and then it becomes Mission Bay. And then that's where 3rd Street ends. Here's the other interesting thing about 3rd Street. Just because 3rd Street is there doesn't mean that 4th Street is on one side or that 2nd Street is on the other. So that's another thing that's very confusing. Most people, again, when you say 3rd Street, they automatically think Bayview Hunters Point. But anyway, that's a little bit about 3rd Street, one of the main strips in San Francisco.